There is a book sitting in a vault at Yale University that has defeated every codebreaker, linguist, and artificial intelligence system ever thrown at it. It was written over 600 years ago. It contains 240 pages of text in an alphabet that doesn't match any known language. It has illustrations of plants that don't exist, star charts that don't correspond to any sky, and diagrams of biological systems that defy identification. Nobody knows who wrote it. Nobody knows what it says. And after a century of study by the best minds in cryptography, the Voynich manuscript remains completely, stubbornly unreadable. In 1912, a Polish-Lithuanian book dealer named Wilfrid Voynich purchased a collection of old manuscripts from a Jesuit library near Rome. Among them was a small, thick book bound in soft vellum, roughly 6 by 9 inches, filled with text and illustrations unlike anything Voynich had ever seen. He recognized immediately that it was something extraordinary. The manuscript had no title, no author, no date. Tucked inside was a letter from 1665 written by Johannes Marcus Marci, a Bohemian scholar, sending the book to Athanasius Kircher, a Jesuit polymath who was considered one of the greatest minds of the 17th century. Marci hoped Kircher could decipher it. The letter mentioned that the manuscript had previously been owned by Emperor Rudolph II of the Holy Roman Empire, who allegedly paid 600 gold ducats for it, a fortune by any era's standards. Kircher, despite his genius, apparently never cracked it. Neither did anyone else for the next 3.5 centuries. The manuscript is divided into several sections based on the illustrations. The herbal section contains drawings of over 100 plants, each accompanied by text. The problem is that none of these plants convincingly match any known species. Botanists have studied them for decades. Some look almost familiar, like a sunflower crossed with a jellyfish, but none are identifiable. Either the artist was drawing from imagination, drawing real plants in an extremely stylized way, or drawing plants that have since gone extinct. The astronomical section includes circular diagrams that resemble star charts or zodiac wheels. Some appear to show recognizable constellations, others are completely alien. There are diagrams of what might be the sun and moon, connected by lines and surrounded by text. The biological section is the strangest. It depicts small naked female figures bathing in interconnected pools of green and blue liquid, connected by elaborate plumbing systems. The figures have distended abdomens. The pools are connected to tubular structures that look vaguely organic. No one has any idea what this is supposed to represent. The text itself is written left to right in a flowing, consistent hand. It uses an alphabet of roughly 20 to 25 distinct characters. The writing shows no signs of hesitation or correction. Whoever wrote this was fluent in whatever system they were using. Statistical analysis shows that the text has properties consistent with a natural language. Word length distributions follow patterns similar to real languages. Certain characters appear more frequently at the beginning or end of words, and there are detectable patterns of word repetition. But it matches no known language. Not Latin, not Arabic, not Chinese, not any European or Asian language, not any artificial language that's been documented. It's not a simple substitution cipher. Those would have been cracked within weeks by modern cryptanalysis. It's something else. We're about to get into the theories, and some of them are genuinely mind-bending. If mysteries like this are your thing, subscribe to Mind Trap. We go deeper than anyone else. Hit subscribe and the bell, and let's keep digging. The list of people who have tried to crack the Voynich manuscript reads like a hall of fame of cryptography. William Friedman, who broke the Japanese purple cipher in World War II, one of the greatest code-breaking achievements in history, spent decades working on the Voynich in his spare time. He couldn't crack it. He died believing it was an early artificial language. The NSA took an interest. Teams at the CIA examined it. Academic linguists, computer scientists, and amateur codebreakers have all taken their shot. The theories fall into several categories. Theory 1, it's a cipher. The text encodes a real language using an unknown encryption method. This was the dominant theory for decades, but modern computational cryptanalysis makes it extremely unlikely that any cipher from the 15th century could resist current methods. We can brute force encryption systems far more complex than anything available in the medieval period. Theory 2, it's a constructed language. Someone invented an entirely new language with its own grammar and vocabulary and wrote a book in it. This is possible, but creating a language with the statistical properties the Voynich text exhibits requires a level of linguistic sophistication that would have been virtually unheard of in the 15th century. Theory 3, it's a hoax. The text is meaningless gibberish designed to look like language. This theory got a boost in 2003 when computer scientist Gordon Rugg demonstrated that a device called a card and grill, a card with holes cut in it, placed over a table of syllables, could generate text with Voynich-like statistical properties. But other researchers have argued that the text is too internally consistent to be random. There are patterns within the text that suggest real semantic content. Certain words appear only in certain sections, as if the herbal section uses different vocabulary than the astronomical section. Theory 4, it's a natural language we haven't identified. Some researchers have proposed that the Voynich is written in a phonetic script for a language that was never otherwise written down, perhaps an extinct dialect or a marginalized language that left no other written records. In 2014, a botanist claimed to identify some of the plants as species native to Central America, suggesting a possible Nahuatl or other Mesoamerican connection. This remains unverified and controversial. Carbon-14 dating of the vellum places its creation between 1404 and 1438. The ink has been analyzed and is consistent with medieval European materials. This rules out the possibility that it's a modern forgery. The vellum itself is genuinely medieval. Multispectral imaging has revealed that the text was written before the illustrations, which is consistent with medieval book production practices. There are no visible palimpsest traces. The vellum wasn't scraped and reused, which would suggest the author started with fresh materials. In 2019, Yale digitized the entire manuscript and made it freely available online. Since then, thousands of amateur and professional researchers have examined every page. Machine learning systems have been applied to the text. So far, no AI has cracked it either, though several have generated proposed solutions that other researchers quickly debunked. The manuscript sits